55 years of marriage to the same woman. We've raised 3 children together, buried both our parents, survived a flood that took our first house and a recession that nearly took everything else. We've slept in the same bed for over 20,000 nights, and I thought I knew her. I really did. But 3 months ago, my wife looked at me across the kitchen table and told me something that stopped my heart, something she'd been holding inside for decades, and it changed everything I thought I understood about love, about marriage, about what it really means to be a husband. My name is Harold James Whitmore. I'm 81 years old, and I've been married to my Eleanor since we were both 26. That's 55 years of anniversary dinners, Christmas mornings, arguments about nothing, and quiet evenings on the porch. I thought I was a good husband. I provided. I was faithful. I showed up. But showing up isn't the same as being present. And I didn't know the difference until she told me. See, it was a Tuesday. Nothing special about it. We'd just finished supper, and Eleanor was sitting there looking out the window at the birds on the feeder. She's always loved those birds. And she said real quiet, almost like she was talking to herself, "Harold, I need to tell you something. Something I should have said a long time ago." Now, when you've been married as long as we have, those words can mean a lot of things. My heart started racing. I thought maybe she was sick. Maybe something was wrong that she'd been hiding. But what she said was worse in some ways and better in others. She said, "For 30 years I didn't feel seen. I was standing right next to you and I felt invisible." 30 years of my wife feeling invisible. And I had no idea. None. She wasn't angry when she said it. That's what got me. She wasn't bitter or resentful. She was just tired of carrying it alone. She said she'd made peace with it a long time ago, but she realized she didn't want to leave this world without me knowing the truth, without me understanding what those years had really been like for her. And I sat there, an 81-year-old man, and I cried like a baby. You want to know what I did wrong? It wasn't anything dramatic. I didn't cheat. I didn't drink. I didn't raise my hand to her. Not once. By all the measures the world uses, I was a good husband. I was one of the good ones. But I wasn't paying attention. I was there, but I wasn't there. I was in the room, but my mind was somewhere else. Work. Worries. The game on television. My own thoughts, spinning around and around. Eleanor would talk to me about her day, and I'd nod and say, "Uh-huh," while I read the newspaper. She'd try to tell me about something that was bothering her, and I'd offer a solution and move on, never realizing she didn't want a solution. She wanted to be heard. She told me about a day, maybe 25 years ago, when she'd gotten some difficult news about her sister's health. She came to me, upset, needing comfort. And you know what I said? I said, "Well, worrying won't help. Let's just see what the doctors say." Then I went back to watching the ball game. She remembers that moment like it was yesterday. I don't remember it at all. And that's the whole problem, isn't it? The moments that wounded her didn't even register for me. I wasn't cruel. I was just absent, careless with her heart because I didn't realize I was holding it. For years, she tried to tell me. She'd say things like, "Oh, I wish we talked more," or "You never ask me about my day." And I'd get defensive. I'd say, "What do you mean? I'm right here. I'm always here." I thought presence was physical. I thought being in the same house was the same as being together. It's not. You can be the loneliest person in the world, sleeping next to someone every night. Now, I need to tell you what happened after she told me this, because this story isn't about blame. It's about what I learned, what I changed, and what I'm begging you to understand before you waste as many years as I did The first thing I did was apologize, a real apology, not the kind where you explain yourself or make excuses. I just said, Eleanor, I am so sorry. I didn't know, but I should have, and I'm sorry. She cried. We both did. And something shifted in that kitchen. Something that had been stuck for decades finally started to move. The second thing I did was start paying attention, really paying attention. And let me tell you, at 81 years old, learning a new way of being is not easy. I'd spent a lifetime in my own head, but I started watching her, noticing her, the way she hums when she's cooking, the way she sighs when she's tired, the way her eyes light up when she talks about the grandchildren. I started asking questions, not big questions, just small ones. What are you thinking about? How are you feeling today? Tell me about that book you're reading. And then I'd listen, not to respond, not to fix, just to hear her. She noticed. Oh, she noticed. After 55 years, she said to me, Harold, it feels like you're finally here. And those words meant more to me than anything I've ever achieved in my life. The third thing I learned is this. Small things are everything. We spend our whole lives chasing big gestures, the fancy anniversary dinner, the expensive gift, the grand vacation. And those things are fine, but they don't matter nearly as much as the small, daily things. Pouring her coffee in the morning before she asks. Holding her hand while we watch television. Saying, I love you, not because it's a special occasion, but because it's a Tuesday. Looking at her when she speaks instead of at my phone or the TV. The small things done consistently are what make a marriage. The big things are just decoration. The fourth thing, and this one is hard for men of my generation to hear, vulnerability is not weakness. I grew up in a time when men didn't talk about their feelings. We provided, we protected, we kept our struggles inside, and I thought that's what strength looked like. But Eleanor told me something that broke me open. She said, Harold, I never felt close to you because you never let me in. You handled everything alone. And I wanted to be your partner, not just your companion. All those years, I thought I was being strong by not burdening her. Turns out I was shutting her out. She wanted to carry things with me. She wanted to know my fears, my doubts, my struggles, and I kept them locked away, thinking I was protecting her, when really I was just building a wall between us. These last few months, I've started letting her in. Telling her when I'm scared about my health, admitting when I'm worried about the kids, saying I don't know instead of pretending I have all the answers. And our conversations have changed. They're deeper now, more real. We're more connected at 81 than we were at 40. The fifth thing, and this might be the most important, it's never too late. Eleanor could have taken her truth to the grave. She could have decided it was too late to matter, but she didn't. She gave me a chance to change, and I took it. If you're sitting there thinking you've wasted too many years, that the damage is done, that your spouse has already given up on you, I'm here to tell you that's a lie. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to pay attention. It's never too late to say, I'm sorry, I'm here now. Tell me everything. Will it fix everything overnight? No. Some wounds take time to heal. Some trust takes time to rebuild. But every day you choose to be present is a day you're choosing your marriage. And those days add up. Now I want to tell you what Eleanor said to me last week. We were sitting on the porch watching the sun go down, like we've done 1,000 times before. But this time she reached over and took my hand and she said, Harold, these last few months have been the happiest of our marriage. 55 years of marriage, and the happiest part is happening now, in our 80s, because I finally learned to see her. Do you understand what that means? It means you're not too old. It means it's not too late. It means all those years behind you don't have to define the years ahead. You can change, you can learn, you can become the husband or wife you never knew how to be. But you have to choose it every single day. Here's what I wish I'd known at 26, at 35, at 50. I wish I'd known that marriage isn't about finding the right person. It's about being the right person. It's not about what your spouse does for you. It's about what you bring to them every day. In the small moments, in the quiet moments, in the moments that don't seem to matter but actually matter most. I wish I'd known that listening is the greatest gift you can give, that being present is more valuable than any paycheck, that your spouse doesn't want you to fix their problems half as much as they want you to understand them. I wish I'd known that the words, "tell me more," can save a marriage. That putting down the newspaper, turning off the television, looking into her eyes and saying, "I'm listening," is worth more than diamonds. I wish I'd known that she was waiting for me, all those years, hoping I'd finally show up. And I was right there, in the same room, missing it entirely. But I know now, and I'm not wasting another day. So if you're watching this and you're married, I'm begging you, go to your spouse tonight, look them in the eyes, and ask them, is there something you've been wanting to tell me? Something you've been holding inside? And then listen, really listen. Don't defend yourself. Don't explain. Just hear them. It might hurt. The truth often does. But it's better to know. It's better to have the chance to change than to find out when it's too late. I got 55 years with Eleanor, but I only truly saw her for the last 3 months. And those 3 months have been worth more than all the years before combined. Don't wait as long as I did, please. The person you love is right there, waiting for you to finally see them. Now, if you'll excuse me, Eleanor's calling me for supper, and I don't want to miss a single moment.